Hi, this is Phil Spencer, and you're listening to the Inner Circle Podcast. For the fans, by the fans.
Welcome to Xbox on the Red Carpet, a new segment from TiC Podcast. Today we have Drop Dead Interactive, bringing their new game, Gear Gauntlet, to the show, and we'll be talking about what makes this game so unique and why fans should probably take a look at it this summer. It is a very interesting game, fast-paced, frantic, a combination of puzzlers and colors and teleportation. It's kind of like if Sonic met Kalimba and they were cogs and gears. Sounds weird, but stay tuned and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you, Jay, for coming on the show and giving us an inside look at your new game, Gear Gauntlet, from Drop Dead Interactive. We know that it's a work in progress, but from the looks of it, it seems like a fast-paced, intense, beat the screen game. So, can you explain to us what is Gear Gauntlet about and how did this game come about?
Okay, hi. So Gear Gauntlet, it's a 2D side scrolling action game. As you say, it's sort of fast paced. Sort of keep ahead of the screen, otherwise you'll die. It came about from sort of influences from Guitar Hero. At the time when I sort of got this idea, I was playing a lot of Guitar Hero. And I was really sort of taken back by how you had to really put in a lot of skill to sort of go through the hard modes and stuff like that. So it was so open that anyone could play the game, but there was that option to sort of put it on hard mode, and you had to use more colors and stuff like that. So that sort of got me thinking, yes, games are quite easy these days, and at the time I thought, okay, I want to do something that reminded me of that sort of skill that I had to have in Guitar Hero and sort of the skill that I used from the games that I used to play back in the day, things like Golden Axe and, Streets of Rage, Street Fighter, stuff like that, where you couldn't just sort of, just pick up a pad and just win all the battles. So that's sort of where that came about. And I think some of the sort of later influences, things like N Plus and Super Meat Boy, we took a bit of that and we mixed it with sort of the bonus levels from Sonic, the old Sonic. So that's where you get sort of the fast moving pace from, and then the Guitar Hero with our main mechanic is sort of the color switching. And unlike Guitar Hero, where you sort of have to do it to the beat of the rhythm, this one is sort of you've got to change colors before you hit the barriers. So it's got that sort of switching element to it, but it's there isn't sort of a rhythm that you have to follow. So it literally is, fingers have to be really quick. And then, as I said, it's got that sort of brutality of something like Meat Boy, where it is quite hard, and one hit takes you sort of back to the beginning and stuff like that. But there are checkpoints, so some levels sort of do give you that that little bonus.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it has a feel, because when I first saw the color switching, it reminded me of the game Kalimba, where you're jumping through one area, but you have to switch before you hit that particular barrier, and it's so fast. And I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to the whole Sonic level, because you get those bonus levels, and it's all about getting those rings, man. Just getting those rings and collecting as much as you can. So I've seen a few scenes like that where it's like you hit this bonus area and it's just gold, gold. What is it, gears or coins?
They're cogs.
Cogs.
So
cogs. Right,
yeah.
right. So you have these gold cogs that you're just running around, and you're trying to grab as many as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The thing that also surprised me about that game was there seems to be hidden doorways that could teleport you backwards.
Notice that. So as you say, so we've got these cogs, and that sort of ties in with the leaderboards and stuff like that, and this whole skill-based game. And as you say, with these, there are teleports. So basically, you can. At first, we had that really massive worlds where you can literally teleport to like far different places and stuff like that. But we sort of scaled it back to sort of focus on the main mechanics and get the meat of the game in there, rather than sort of just having the player just wandering about. But so we have these teleports, and then we've also got what we call chrono tiles, which basically from as soon as the game starts, no matter how many times you die, the timer keeps going, and it's up to the player to sort of find the route that gets you to that area, and then some of these areas lead you to the rare cog. It's like a purpley black
so you gotta beat the timer in a sense.
Exactly. So some levels where it'll have it so that if you don't get there within 10 seconds, then that area will be locked off. And then, as I said about the difficulty, and similar to how Guitar Hero was, but in our game, you don't have to choose the difficulty setting. What we've done is we've made multiple routes. So some levels may have 2 routes, 4 routes, whatever it is. But what happens is some of them are easier than the others. So then that allows the player to make the decision as they're sort of playing the game. So if they're dying from going one route, they might say, do you know what, I'm going to come back to that, go the easier route. They beat the level, then they say to themselves, do you know what, I've got more confidence now. I'm going to go back the other route. And then what happens is, they find the rare cog if they're really skillful, or they just get more points. And then what happens, every time you beat a level, or gauntlet as we call it, you get the top 10 screen comes up in the results area. So you will straight away see the top 10 results, and you can see your friends on there and stuff like that. You can also go into the options area to go to the leaderboards, and then that will obviously have all your friends and a much bigger list. But just on the results, it's that about sort of that dangling that carrot to say, can you get onto the top leaderboard? So it encourages you to play the game again, and that is where we find the game is really addictive, because people beat the gauntlet, and then they say, do you know what, I can do better. I'm going to go the hard route this time round. I'm going to beat that 10-second chrono tile, and so.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So each route offers different variances of difficulty, is what you're saying. I got you. That's awesome, man. That's pretty cool. That's
interesting.
That's a refreshing way.
It is. It's more than meets the eye. You look at it, you think it's something simple, but there's a slight complication behind it.
Exactly.
The more you play it. So
and everything has always been so black and white. Like difficulty, easy, normal, hard. Exactly. I really respect that, Jay, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. So after watching a few gameplay vids, the game seems frantic, but pretty straightforward. The pace of the game is quick, and you can beat most levels in just a minute, which reminds us of some of the games that can be snapped and enjoyed. Have you thought about making it a snappable game?
We have, and to be honest, as you say, the game seems quite simple. But there is sort of a lot going on. And one of the things that we found is that you tend to need quite a lot of focus and concentration on the game, because, as you say, it's moving very fast. You're trying to keep ahead of the screen, and you're sort of trying to move up, move down to sort of get all the different cogs, find the perfect route. You got that sort of Twitch-based switching of the colours. So it does take quite a lot of focus. And one thing we noticed because we did an event at Game City, and we used to have a charge bar, which used to be sort of in the bottom left corner. And what this bar is that it basically, every time you used your colour switching, it drained the bar a bit. So this was sort of like an extra mechanic of management. So you couldn't just sort of leave your hand on the colours and stuff like that. But what we found was, firstly, because it was behind the direction the players were moving, it sort of, the players had to take their focus off the direction they were going, and that distracted them. So then what we did, we moved it into front of the players, into the same direction they were heading, and we found that it made it better for them. But then we sort of said to ourselves, okay, do we need this extra layer of distraction? The whole switching mechanic is the main focus here, and that was enough challenge for them, as well as trying to get onto the leaderboards, trying to sort of get that great score, get to the end. So we ended up taking that out, because we didn't want to sort of put too much on the players' plate. So I mean, to answer your question, for us, this isn't this type of game that could be snapped because you need a bigger screen for it, just to give you that a bit of better focus.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, totally, man. The console gaming has become a place where small dev teams are now the norm, and indies are at the forefront of everything, it seems now. So with that being said, indie games have an even bigger focus this gen for Blast. Because of that, Xbox has created the Idea at Xbox program. Thankfully for you, right, Jay?
Yes, that's correct.
How easy or hard is it to work with the program, and did you find any difficulties in getting the game published on the Xbox One platform?
Getting onto the Idea Xbox program is as simple as going to the website, literally filling out the forms. Probably takes about 2 to 3 minutes to fill it out, and then you basically that is sort of your entry onto the program. Sort of like you get yourself through the door, and then you'll be contacted, and then the rest is history, really. For us, I mean, I can't say how easy it was because it really was unbelievable for us. It was really sort of that sort of moment where you literally jump for joy, running around the house, sort of thing. When we got when we got Gear Gauntlet onto Idea Xbox.
Awesome.
Because, as I said, didn't have to front any payments or anything like that. Literally sent off the application. Someone obviously at Xbox liked the idea and concept of Gear Gauntlet, because yes, you have to sort of get your game does have to get chosen and stuff like that. So that already gives us that sort of that boost of we're onto something that people actually like. Whether it's 5 or 10 people or whatever, at least someone other than yourself liked it, kind of thing. And sort of the relationship with Idea Xbox has just been great. As I said, you get onto the team, you get onto the program. We've been given a Unity license. We've been given 2 dev kits. These are the kind of things that if I was trying to do this by myself, I would really have struggled because, a lot of the funding I get from my day job. So for me, it's just been such a sort of weight off my shoulder with the help we've been getting.
Wow.
And in terms of the sort of the after support, obviously I'm in the UK, so for me a lot of the stuff has to go through email. But the emails get responded to really quickly. There's a lot of help, documentation. I never feel like I'm sort of got a problem that I'm sharing by myself, and the community with the other members, is really great. So there's always someone to sort of say, hey, I had that problem, or have you tried it this way? So for me, the Idea Xbox program has just been a bit of a blessing, really, and it's got me through the door, and for Drop Dead Interactive, we're hoping that this is going to be the start of good things to come, really.
So you Idea at Xbox guys look out for each other, man. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've got one friend that I sort of met through sort of the Idea Xbox and stuff like that, and he's a real XNA sort of vet. And I was at his house just last when was it, on Saturday, or no, sorry, Sunday. He invited me around for dinner, so and then we just went and talked about the program and sort of how great it is and this opportunity and stuff like that. And those are the kind of relationships that you can build through the community of not just Idea Xbox but just Xbox itself. So I'm really grateful for that.
That's an amazing thing because. We're going to have Chris Carler on sometime in March, the director of the Idea Xbox program.
Yeah. Can't wait.
We're all excited about that. But it seems that the Xbox ID at Xbox program gets a bad rap. And, he says to us all the time, it's easy, it's simple. And from what you're telling us, it seems pretty straightforward, easy, and simple. But I think the one thing that I noticed that you said was that your game was chosen.
Yeah.
I think that's significant. That's something that is significant for the Xbox program because, Phil is always talking about not being treated as a second-class citizen. And it seems that the Xbox, the Idea Xbox program are trying to choose the best games or the games that they believe will be the best indie developed games for the Xbox platform to probably avoid, and this is no disrespect to any developer, but probably to avoid any of the shovelware or games that they feel might get looked over by gamers. So that's very interesting in my opinion.
I mean, I can't really comment for, what sort of Phil Spencer or Kushala sort of thinks and stuff like that. Mm. But what I can say as a sort of, because I am a professional software developer, so, I tend to have to, go up to directors and, pitch them something that, whatever, a solution to what they want me to make, and some of the times, you're going to say an idea, but it's just going to, it might sound good at the time, but it's just not gonna, work really. So, from personal experience, I know that, it's not a case of just sort of open up the floodgates for anything to come through, because, then you are going to just get flooded with, games that are not necessarily going to be good. But again, my game could be released and people might say it's not good. But so I really don't know what any of the process is or anything. But,
Gotcha. So, sometimes studios have a line of games that they'll be working on after they drop their original, concept, and that hits the market. Once Gear Gauntlet is released and completed, what's next for you in Drop Dead Interactive?
Well,
gotta wait and see.
I think the first thing, we're probably gonna take maybe 2-3 weeks holiday and just game, because
hey man, well deserved. Well deserved, man.
I can honestly say I'm a big Titanfall fan, and I can say my hours on Titanfall has really dropped back, because the first and foremost, I'm creating a product that's gonna go to the public, and I wouldn't want something to go to them that, they're going to say, this is what Drop Dead Interactive is, this quick piece of, shovelware that doesn't amount to anything. So for me, I had to make sure that became my priority. And, as I said, this has been sort of a blessing for us, myself and Steve. We don't want to sort of blow this opportunity and this be the end of what we're doing as Drop Dead Interactive. So, for us at the moment, that this is our sort of main focus, and Gear Gauntlet has just been a sort of a passion project for myself, especially. I came with the idea such a long time ago, and because of sort of work and family and stuff like that, it's sort of I've been chipping away at it, starting it again. New games come out, so it's like, oh, I need to match that quality and stuff like that. So for me, I wouldn't just want to sort of let it fly off into the wild and just be like, that's it, I'm done with it. I would want to sort of support it for a bit, like get the feedback from the users. And I believe Gear Gauntlet is the type of game that is sort of goes hand in hand with DLC. So not necessarily paid DLC, just more levels. And so depending on sort of the response we get from the users, there are sort of some new mechanics we would possibly like to try out that, aren't in the game at the moment, but, one of these sort of afterthoughts that you get, and it's like, if it does well, it would be lovely to sort of give that to them just as a thank you for, supporting the game and stuff like that. So there are a few little mechanics and stuff like that we've got to mine. So depending on how it does, that could be, might just sort of support it for a month or two or whatever, depending on how it does. But other than that, myself, I've got loads of ideas, part of me is the ideas man that just walks around and wants to try everything. And then Steve, he's got his sort of his designs that he's got, he comes from a film background, so he wants to do a lot of things with narrative and stuff like that. So there's loads of stuff that we could do. But, in this day and age, gamers, their minds change like anything. So you always want to sort of keep relevant and sort of feel that you're sort of making stuff that people actually want, rather than, making a game that you myself want but no one else is going to want. So yeah, we've got a few ideas, and all I can say is just really just keep an eye on Drop Dead Interactive and, show us the love and we'll be here for you.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, we definitely will, man.
That's awesome, man. And that's something that fans can look forward to, man. Support the game. Drop Dead has some DLC coming for you, and not paid DLC, just some free awesome new levels, maybe some new mechanics, but it's all about support, man. We have to support our indie gamers, man. These devs work really, really hard for us to get us great quality products, and Gear Gauntlet is shaping up to be one of those great quality products. Jay, I want to thank you for coming on. We really appreciate you. We hope that your game is very successful. And
thank you.
That you come on our show again if you come out with something new in the future.
Yeah, man. You can announce it on our show. You can announce it on our show, man. We don't mind. We're not scared. Bring it to us, man. And just to let all the TiC Podcast followers know, we are planning a Twitch stream with Jay and Gear Gauntlet. We'll let you know more details as we get them, but possibly giving away a free copy of the game too. So.
Yes, so definitely stay tuned, guys, and definitely support Gear Gauntlet by Drop Dead Interactive. Well, thanks again, man, for coming on, and we'll definitely, hopefully, see you in the future.
Okay, thanks, guys.
No problem.
No problem, Jay. Nice to have you.
Hey, I want to thank everybody for listening, stopping in, and checking out our new segment, On the Red Carpet. Our next On the Red Carpet developer will be Crowd of Monsters, the developers of Funk Titans and Blues and Bullets. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be February 6th at 4 p.m. for the release date on that particular show. We also will have Mr. Aaron Greenberg, the executive within Microsoft, who works for the Xbox division. He is the director of marketing for first and third party games. So hopefully we can, get something out of Aaron that may surprise us or gives us a heads up on when some titles will be releasing. And as well as more AAA developers and more indie developers that we will have appearing on our show in the future. Also, check out TiCPodcast.com. We're giving away Mortal Kombat 10 and Batman Arkham Knight if you sign up at the top of the page where it says contact. You'll be the first people to join our new website where we focus all our reviews in one place, and you won't miss a beat or skip a beat. And we'll be giving away exclusive prizes on our website in the future. Appreciate everyone for stopping in. I'm your host, KORX Kal-El, and I'll see you guys on our next Red Carpet interview. I'm off this planet. Peace.
For the fans, by the fans.